Hare Krishna. Today our satsang is SRIMADBHAGVATAM, 11th chapter, 11th canto, 13th chapter, SLOKA 33, 34, 35. Here, Lord Brahma been asked by Sanaka Rishi about the liberation of the soul, and he made the question that mind is naturally attracted to sensual objects and intelligence carry away the mind for its satisfaction. In this way, the soul is experiencing material bodies since for time immemorial, with birth, death, etc. So does ever this illusion, these material modes, this mind and intelligence provide any freedom to soul? Because soul being non-doer, how can he liberate himself from the clutches of senses, mind and intelligence? This is the question made by Sanaka Rishi to Lord Brahma, and Lord Brahma was unable to find a suitable answer because of his heavy engagement in the creations. At that time, Lord Sri Krishna made his avatara as a Hamsa. This is called Hamsa Avatara. In this Hamsa Avatara, Lord explained Sankhya philosophy, where Lord is saying that you should consider how the influence of illusory energy means the three states of mind and have been artificially imagined in existing me. Having definitely ascertained the truth of the soul, you should utilize the sharpened sword of knowledge required by logical reflection and from the instructions of the sages and Vedic literature to cut off the false ego, which is the breeding ground of all doubts. All of you should then worship me, who am situated within the heart. So, dear devotees, this shloka concerns the depth of the knowledge, because Krishna is saying the influence of material energy acting on the soul. Soul is enveloped by the body, and body is carried away by senses, mind, intelligence. So this force of desires is transferred into body, body transferred into senses, sense into mind, mind into intelligence. These are the byproducts of desires. And this desire now envelops the soul through the medium of body, senses, mind and intelligence. And we, forgetting our own spiritual identity, treating ourselves as material bodies and being carried away by the force of material waves, we are under the influence of time, rotating ourselves in the cycle of birth and death. So that is the unfortunate position for the soul. So Lord Sri Krishna is saying that all this bewilderment, misconfusion arises because of one thing, and that is called ego, ahankara. Ahankara exhibits your identity. Through the medium of ahankara, you feel that you exist through material world. So there the all confusions arises. This ego generates the feeling of existence of material body through logic and reason. And because it appears to be very truthful, factual, you bewildered start living for the satisfaction of the body, senses and mind, using intellect. And you lost your own identity, which is very blissful, spiritual, and which is in quality is supreme, equal to Supreme Lord Krishna. Qualitatively, we are equal to Krishna. Quantitatively, we are very minute. So Lord Sri Krishna here is saying, cut off this ego. Cut off this ego means don't surrender to it. Don't believe it. Don't trust it. Because it is giving you a false life. A life without devotion, without Krishna, without bhakti. And it has its own web, net, and so created diversified activities in which you are so indulged, you don't have any time for yourself, your own self called Atma. So dear devotees, try to understand your actual position. You are superior in nature, being qualitatively one with Lord Sri Krishna. You have a nature of Satchidananda, truth, bliss and eternity. But due to misidentifying with your own self, presuming yourself to the material body, you have forgotten your own soul. So, a different personality is created by ego, which has no relation with the soul. This is very important. And what we are achieving, where we are going, we don't know. We have been placed in some material situation with the body, and we are acting accordingly. We don't know our future, we don't know our past also, from where we have come and why we have come. So as an actor, we are playing our role with no profit. We do, because ultimately without our notice, we have to leave everything here. So we are not the beneficiaries. We are the sufferers. And Krishna is saying, cut off the ego. Because this ego created your identity, your material identity. And that identity, for the survival of that identity, you are investing your total energy. And since beginning to end, because you don't want to let your ego down, so all your thinking, investment, karma, emotions are all centered around ego. But that is not the true life. True life is full of joy and bliss, which is experienced by the performance of devotional service. And devotional service is possible when you are free from ego. Because ego has its own identity, own life, own net, own web. It doesn't have any time for God. When you give up the ego and false created activities of body, then you will come to your constitutional position where you can sit peacefully with the Lord and can chant His glories, His name, and remember Him. So Krishna, because He is sitting in our hearts, Super Soul, Paramatma, we have forgotten Him due to our engagements in external material nature, through mind. But the same as remembrance has to be restored, and we should check the flow of material impressions in our mind from external sources and consolidating that impressions, giving up that impressions with one attention. You should fix the mind on the Super Soul and start playing the Lord. So there the bliss comes. Otherwise, this flow of material nature will always forcefully take you to the unknown destinations in which birth and death are sure. Thank you and Hare Krishna.